Hi, we're going to start a process of learning about bidding. It's going to start simply and then progress as we go through the various belt levels, if you will, of learning bridge. So we'll start basically at the yellow belt level and do things that require few, if not any, conventions at all. And once you get into the farther reaches of learning how to bid, the higher levels, if you will, you can add more and more conventions. But remember, the more conventions that you add, the more difficult it is to find other partners who play the same conventions the same way. So you really need to have a partner that you play with regularly and work at this with if you're going to use a lot of the fancy stuff. So in the beginning, please keep it simple. The videos that you're going to see in this directory, in the various bidding playlists that you'll see as you go through, are not exhaustive. You're actually going to need some help. The very best help would be if you could actually take bridge lessons either in person or online from a live qualified instructor who's using the most recent methods. You can find a good instructor at acbl.org, or if you're not in the Americas, you probably want to go to your union, whatever that may be, the European Union, the British Bridge Union, whatever, and find instructors through their website. You can also go to your local bridge club and find out who in the world is teaching bridge that teaches regular, coherent beginning lessons. Barring those, you can look at online lessons. I have included some at the bottom of my directory channel page. I've included a few series. There are others. I just happen to choose those because I like the quality of them in terms of volume and aesthetics and that kind of thing. But there's lots of good ones out there. Nutrix does a real good job. Unfortunately, you can't hear them. But other than that, please, if you can't do it that way, get a couple of books. What I suggest to you is that you get the most recent version of Gorin's Bridge Complete. Yeah, I know, but do it anyway. The one where he has capitulated to 5-card majors and a few of the conventions that were avant-garde back in the 1970s, but people have tinkered with them so much by now that they're hardly recognizable, and Gorin would be just rolling his eyes, probably rolling in his grave. Another one that you want to supplement with is Larry Cohen's Larry Teaches 2/1. Now that's a 4-pamphlet series. They're relatively inexpensive. Buy all 4 and read all 4. And that'll pretty much get you up to speed. You just kind of have to fill in the blanks, and we can't do it all by showing you a bunch of videos, even though we try to show you the right kind of videos in the right order. So, word to the wise, please get some outside stuff. Don't get so hung up with all of the details, and there are plenty of them, that you fail to remember the basics of bidding. The basics are, you're trying to find a contract that you're going to play for this deal. Either your side's going to play it, and one of you is going to be a defender, or the other side, declarer, and the other side is going to win the contract, and one of them is going to be the declarer, and your side is going to be defending. You can get wild with your bidding, but remember that you want to try and get a positive score. That's the whole point. You're going to win something, money or points or trophies or matchsticks or whatever, but each deal that comes up, you want to try and not be silly. Just do well and get the highest plus you can, or if you can't get a plus, get the smallest minus that you have to incur because the other side got the cards for this deal. The other thing to remember is that in bidding, you're constantly trying to help each other figure out your size and shape. And sometimes you can do that by passing. In other words, if you and your partner both pass throughout the auction, but you're both listening to what the opponents are bidding, either aloud or with bidding boxes, you're going to be able to know kind of their size and shape combined. You can see your size and shape, and you can then infer the 13 cards that your partner has in his or her hand and that your partner's size and shape, and that will be confirmed if you're defending by the carding, attitude signals, count signals, sometimes suit preference signals. Those kinds of things excuse me, tend to confirm or deny what's going on in your partner's hand and help you on defense. So those are kinds of things to think about, and remember that we're going to start with the simplest kinds of bidding with the fewest possible conventions, and then we'll work up to some basic conventions that almost everybody plays, and then as we go into the advanced levels, we'll be looking at, more conventions that people like to play. But remember, every time you add a convention, you're taking away the other meanings for that particular bid or call. And so, be careful. Try to do these under the supervision of somebody who's mentoring you or a teacher in your classes. Don't just willy-nilly see something in the bridge bulletin and go, ooh, that looks good, let's try that. You're not going to get good results if you do that. So hopefully this will help as you go through the rest of the directory and look at the bidding and the carding and the other things that you're going to learn. Have fun.